Hello, Mr. Riley.
Hello, Mr. J. That's going to catch on.
Yeah, someday. Mr. J.
Mr. J.
Did I ever tell you
Sounds
they
like
used to call me
elementary.
Jaws, and then well, they called me Mick Jaws.
Mick Jaws.
Mick Jaws. So I don't know if
Okay.
you've ever had a nickname or whatever. Like honestly, like past like the army or outside of the army or high school, like I never really had a nickname. But it's fine. Like I know some people who still go by and like
Right.
as adults or like I mean I say adults and I'm much older now. Old adults, young adults. But anyways, yeah, in school, or my dad's truck driving handle was Jaws, right? And for
Okay.
Jaworski, and then
Yeah.
they called me Jaws in high school, and then it became like Jaws to Mick Jaws.
Mick Jaws.
Mick Jaws, right? And then, yeah, in the army, they called me Jaws, and yeah, so it stuck a little
I mean,
bit.
some people, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny the different nicknames that different people give you, though.
Right.
Like, you know, family, some friends will be
Yeah.
like Rye Guy or Rye, right? Like, just
Sure.
shorten it up, right?
Fry guy.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Like Fry Guy, Rye Guy.
Fry guy. Even better. Even
boy.
better.
Hold on.
Nope, that's it. Right.
Take that out. Good thing I'm the editor. No. But, and then I've obviously got just a funny friend one. It's not appropriate, but it's Peaches.
Peaches.
It's just a random.
Sure.
I wore a peach colored shirt one time.
And that's what happens.
And it stuck.
It is what happens.
And like literally, like my friends are having babies now.
Yeah.
And they're like, "This is Uncle Peaches." I'm like, "Goodness gracious."
That's great. Yeah, should have wore a different color.
I know.
It's not peach today.
At least, it's not peach.
For those
today.
of you not watching,
Yes,
it
it's
is green.
green.
It's a vibrant green.
It is a bright.
It's a beautiful
Yes,
green.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like a golfer green though.
I do wear a
will
lot of
say-
golf polos.
Is that what? Yeah.
I just I need to go golfing more just to get the use out of these. But
Sure. Yeah. I just can't golf.
Yeah, no,
I
me
can't
neither.
golf.
So-
Rye guy.
Rye guy,
Rye.
Fry. Whoa! Don't put me in the fryer.
Yeah.
Nicknames. Mr. J though. I don't know. That might be your next new one.
We'll see about that. We'll see. As the boss, I say no. So it kind of reminds me of like when you're in a default setting, right? When you have nicknames and
Yep.
people are kind of getting comfy cozy, right?
You just let it slip. It's
Yeah.
just your default. Like
Yeah.
like Peaches. Like my friends. Like, or I always think too like of a parent who's mad. They say the full name, right?
See?
Riley Patrick Shine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but for other things, it could be their nickname, but
Right.
their default.
Yeah.
So when things are gonna going awry, what is
They're going to Riley.
Oh, right. Jeez Louise.
But it is. That's a good one. Like the
Yeah.
parent part is really true, right? Like when you're in the thick of things and you're going, Lily Ranger Jaworski, get over here, right? Or Eric Paul or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
exactly.
Okay.
We gotta reset.
Yeah. Right.
We better listen right now.
Yeah. Because I know, especially like under pressure, right? In the restaurants, when we get under pressure, we sometimes resort to things that we haven't been trained to do, but we're just naturally doing.
Defaulting to.
Yeah.
So instead of taking the time to maybe get your team reset, you're just shouting orders
Yeah.
at that point. Like, I need fries. Where are the fries? Where's Riley on the fries?
So how do you kind of, I guess, identify when you're about to need that reset, right? Because first of all,
Yeah.
like when you're saying reset, it's about like the chaos, getting it back to somewhat of a normal, right? Or comfort in the chaos,
Yes.
maybe.
Yes.
But
I would say so.
yeah. So how are you identifying those chaotic feelings?
Me and Haley just had an episode a couple weeks ago about being in the box, right? So you can feel when you're starting to get to that point, or you're boiling over, or you're like, it's just chaos. I can't get anything to work or happen.
Sure.
So that's when I think it's okay to reset, because if you're feeling it, your team is definitely feeling it.
Yeah.
If you don't know what direction or what next step to take, they don't know. And so everything's just going to remain status quo until you decide to snap out of it and become the leader and reset the team.
Yeah. What do resets look like?
Well, I think, when you're talking about, say, a peak period, and, you've got danger zones all over the place, and you just have different pieces of the wheel moving, and everybody's doing their own thing, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, take that step back and take that 10, 15 seconds to identify your actual issues, the root cause of the issues, and just act on them. And if it's a quick reposition, that's fine. But I also think morale and culture-wise, like I said, they're feeling it too.
Oh yeah.
So if you can get re-get their attention with a phrase or just something fun that's like, all right, guys, let's snap out of it. Let's re-engage with what we're doing.
Sure. And those instant resets can really work. I've been going through all of the crew training videos lately, right? With HU Online, it was a great opportunity for me just to kind of reset and make sure that I still knew and was up to date, I guess, on a lot. Yeah. And staying relevant, man. Like that's a whole nother conversation right there. But it's been really cool to kind of go through some of these things because I've been able to pick up on some things that have maybe been left behind a little bit, right? Like as we get older, I'll just say it, right? There's some things that fall off, like when you don't use all of your skills, but something that they put in the crew videos and in the station guides. And I don't know if you remember this or not, Riley, but it actually says for the crew person to call out, and I'm bringing this up because you mentioned danger zones.
Yeah.
It actually calls out for the crew person to tell the shift leader when they're in a danger zone.
Right.
I don't remember if I've ever read that before.
That's true. I mean, because you, as a shift leader, you're observing, but you're observing everything.
Yeah.
So you need a team that's going to communicate with you and just be like, hey.
Yeah.
I'm at 3 orders, 4 orders, like just red flag or just a little white flag raise, like help.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was really cool because it does. It says, hey, let your shift leader know, right, that you're in a danger zone. That way they can help and prioritize. Now, once again, you might not be the priority, right? Like there might be other danger. Like if you're living in chaos, let's just face it, there might be other priorities. But I think even from a crew person's, like you said, morale and mindset, and our ability to help us kind of take those leads, it really is important for our crew to help identify that stuff as well. Because I think sometimes as shift leaders, we do get caught up in the chaos.
Yep.
Like we're in the chaos, so we also think everyone else is. And when sometimes that's not the case.
Not the case, nor is it like, again, as the leader, you're in the box or you're not thinking, you're in the tunnel vision we've talked about so much.
Yeah.
That if somebody were to, if the kitchen was like, hey, Riley, I got 4 orders here, man, just letting you know, that might be enough to snap me out of it too.
Right.
Be like, oh, okay. I need to adjust some things. I need to act instead of remain the way we're doing it. But all of this to say, how do your shifts run on autopilot? If you were just observing and you were just doing your leadership stuff, your travel pass, your this, your that, like, how's it going to run? Is it going to get chaotic? Are the wheels going to fall off? Or are they going to keep working and elevate their default settings? Or is it just going to stay status quo and nobody's going to get better?
Right.
You know?
Well, and I think the leadership default setting is something so interesting. And I'm going to tell you a little story. And I'm going to reference the class again. I learned a lot at this class. I think anytime, like I'm going to tell you, like I haven't been to a leadership class in a long time, right? Because there's something different about going to a class. And I'm so thankful for like you and Haley and the team when you do like these LT classes and you put together the DLIM classes, and that I'm so thankful. Like I don't even think people know, like I'm so thankful to see people there investing in themselves, because I get it. You don't always have to go to these things or whatever, but I consider myself a pretty decent leader at this point. Probably not the greatest yet, Riley. Like I've got my improvements to make. I mean, at this class, I realized, right, like I've got some holes. But they started out the class with a game. And in the game, they said, okay, your number one priority is to win. Just win the game.
Win.
Right? And we were in a team of like 4 or 5. There's 4 teams, and you had to go into this box, right, in the middle of the room. You're only given very few details, right? But you basically had to put together the best shape possible, and the instructor would be able to give you points based off of whatever shape you ended up making and how well the shape was. So you're going into this room and you're bartering, right? You're trying, you get coins, you get some pieces, and you're trying to buy pieces, you're trying to get coins, you're trying to make a shape.
Okay.
And literally, like our team, and we had a team of like very strong
leaders,
very strong leaders, or very strong, like they're just very aggressive people. Like, hey, we'll buy this, we want this, we need this. Like, we weren't really taking perspective into anyone else's, like,
you weren't taking that beat.
No, like we just wanted to win, and we did win.
Okay, nice.
Kind of. So
were you the cheater? Were you the cheater?
No,
table?
We didn't cheat. But we had like that. We put all of our shapes together, right? We had all the most coins. We had everything. But then at the end, the other teams got to basically vote on how well of a partner you were. So you can get anywhere from 50 points to minus 50 points.
Okay.
We lost a lot of points. So I tell this story because sometimes when you're in it and you only have one goal in mind, right? Hey, we want to be the fastest. We want to be the best. Like you'll almost do anything you can to win. right? And I see that sometimes from our leadership in the restaurants, from our shift managers,
Yeah.
our crew in the restaurants. Like maybe we'll serve off the orders a little bit too much. Maybe we'll flex in a little bit too much for the crew person. Maybe we skip around training and use some shortcuts instead, right? Like nothing vile, nothing necessarily dangerous, but something that helps you maybe win in the moment, but not long term. And I thought that was really interesting when you said you wanted to talk about like default settings. Like even with all of my training, my default was to want to win rather than trying to work with people.
Okay, so yeah, win and not win together necessarily.
Yeah.
Like if you would have worked together, you would have maybe not lost as many points.
I will give myself a little bit of credit because in phase 2, I'm like, I did talk to another team. I'm like, guys, we both can win here. But like the whole team was kind of like, no. And I'm like, I didn't really push it though.
Yeah.
So I think just I liked what your point was here, where it says every store has defaults, and I think every leader has defaults,
good or bad.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
So when we're in the chaos, like what's your default, and how do we maybe change that? Any like how do you change your chaos, your leadership chaos?
Well, and again, I'm referencing the box episode, but you really just have to reset. You really just have to, an emotional intelligence. You have to, why am I thinking this? What's going well? What's going bad? Like, what would be even better if right now? Like, okay, drive-through speeds at 125.
Yeah.
You know, I know our goal for breakfast is 105. How, like, it's right there.
Yeah.
You know, what can I do to make that switch? And so as you're going through the operations of everything, like, you just have to give yourself that time, be intentional with that time to really test out all this stuff. Like any other sport takes practice. And so take that time and really ask yourself questions. Being curious is the greatest leadership tool. If you just question everything, you'll learn how to be a better leader, and your team will work better with you.
Yeah, I don't think that we do enough of the post-shift analysis type stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we take a look and say, okay, hey, team members, that was super chaotic.
Team members.
Yeah.
You said it. It's like everybody. The managers will talk to each other.
Sure.
They'll be like, oh, hey, this is a crazy shift, or this sucked, or hey, it was pretty well today.
Right.
You know, those little things. That's great.
Yeah.
But what about the team who made it happen, or who were there doing the work?
Do you think there's some, and it's easy enough. Like if I go talk to Billy in the grill and I say, hey, look, that was super chaotic. Like I appreciate us getting through that. I know it sucked for everybody, but like, what were some key things that I could have done better as a leader to help you get through that? Like, what are some things that maybe we could have done better, right? Like all of a sudden, like this whole post-shift conversation isn't just about, thank goodness we got through it, and let's get ready for the next rush.
So like, what are we gonna do better?
Let's get ready for the next rush by learning about what we should have done or could have done. Could we have followed e-production? Did we have enough lettuce pre-made? Did we have enough, Happy Meal boxes boxed up? Were we asking and doing the right thing with our training environment? Because we should train when it's slow. That way, when it does get chaotic, we default to the right way. And sometimes I just don't think that it was just great to have this class and the insight and say, okay, I defaulted and our team defaulted, right, to a way where it just wasn't good for everybody.
Sacrificed a little bit of...
You did. You sacrificed relationships in order to get the result. And I think we do that to our crew.
Or sacrifice results.
Yep.
Or sacrifice...
And then sometimes we wonder. Sometimes we wonder why we have turnover. Hey, that was a great employee. How come they left? Well, when they're working for chaotic leadership or when everything's going great, fine. But who wants to work for somebody that lives in the chaos? Who wants to work for somebody that doesn't control the situations, their emotions, or learn from those things?
And that's chaos is going to happen.
Yeah.
But how do you exactly, like, even better if? How can we as a team?
Yep.
What was one barrier, Billy, in grill? What was one barrier? You felt it. It was crazy, right? You probably made 50 sandwiches. Yeah, it was crazy. Well, what was in your way? Oh, I had to. So-and-so ran to the bathroom and I had to drop product myself. And so I stopped making sandwiches for a minute. So it's reinforced the procedures and the policy in place.
Right. I just had like the most interesting conversation with Amy, our director of operations, because she was getting a little pissed off around a couple items, right, with some different beverage launch questions and things like that. And it was really interesting because we had a small conversation around the chaos that she was feeling right then and there. We had a couple things like, okay, well, feel free to do this. What are you thinking? Okay, yep, I agree. Like, that'd be great. And then she messaged me back maybe 20 minutes later, and she's like, I'm going to slow down. I've realized that maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit and I need to look at this differently. So instead of her like operating or about to maybe start some of that fire drill chaos stuff, it was really cool because all of a sudden that was her reset. Yeah. She took the 10, 20 minutes to just, instead of continuously pushing the bad, because she was feeling it. She took the time to really think and say, okay, what's going to be best for the team at this moment in time? And all of a sudden, she's going to go into these conversations just a little bit more free, right? A little bit more open.
Yeah. Not tied down by the situation. You know, it's been almost a year and a half, Eric. We have a lot of episodes, and we've talked about, you know, the mindset that you're in when you are going to have a conversation, a coaching conversation, a positive, negative, whatever it is. If you're angry, maybe wait a second before you have the conversation. And so that's awesome that Amy took that time to just pause and what would be even better if what's really good for the team right now.
Right. And I bring that up because we as leaders have to learn. I just mentioned mine. I know like Amy's working on it too. Her default setting was to get, but once again, as a default setting, she was mad about what happened. But instead, like, let's not be mad at the person or the situation. Let's figure out what task and how it failed and what we can do to reset that stuff. So I'm just once again so proud of our team and the learning and the journey that everyone's on. Because I know this stuff, it's easier said than done, right? Like it's easier said than done. When you're in it, right, and you see red, like I'm telling you, Riley, like there's times where like emotionally, like I don't know what I was thinking, right? Like, have you ever gone back on a situation like, what was I doing?
Like why did I say that? Or what did I do? What? Yes, of course.
Like almost like, and it doesn't have like, I'm gonna tell, like honestly, I don't think it happens as much as it used to. But like when I was younger, or maybe in my manager versus leader like thinking, like when I was more of a manager than a leader, like sometimes you're so much in it,
and it doesn't take much either.
Oh man,
and that's, you just said it though. It's a manager, not a leader.
Yeah.
But as you start talking leadership, as you start learning leadership and going on that journey, you're at least a little bit more mindful of different things. And you might not retain every single thing you read.
I know.
You read so much. And I'm like, I want to read more too. But as I'm reading, I'm like, okay, just me opening the book and reading a couple, like that's me showing myself that I'm ready to be a better leader. And that in itself reminds me to not default.
It kind of does,
you know,
and that's what's great. I think about like different classes and different like leadership conversations, or even like listening to podcasts like this or other ones. It's like, yep, all right, I got that skill. I just haven't thought about it in a while. Like just like the crew videos, I know that, or hey, that's cool. That's a little twist on it, but like we know some of these things, we just don't always practice them.
Right.
So I think just living in your defaults, just how do we make our default setting less chaotic?
And how do we level it up?
How do we level it up? How do we rise to the occasion? How do we keep the bigger picture in mind? How do we continue those relationships? Because, you know, our default shouldn't be yelling or getting angry at people.
Absolutely.
And I think too often that can happen only because we don't yet know how to go from that manager to leader.
Yep.
But it takes time, and it takes continuity, and it takes patience
with yourself,
and that's the bigger
self-compassion's huge.
It really does, right? Like we have to be okay with being okay. We have to be okay with not knowing everything. We have to be okay with if we did something wrong. Like Riley, I'm sorry. I really shouldn't have done that. Like I can't believe I even did it, right? Well, Eric, you do it a lot. Now I'm open to feedback. You're right. Maybe I need to look into this, but we just have to control our default settings, and we can.
Well, and control them and again, improve them.
Yep.
Like you want the default to be just as good as your best day. Like that's the goal, right? That's the journey. So absolutely, this is a great conversation, and I'm so glad that you're sharing what you're learning in class too, because that's what we tell our leaders to do. Don't gatekeep this stuff. You know?
Oh, I know it. It's always the challenge, right? You sat in class for a day or two or three. I was lucky enough to be in 3 days of the class, and it's like, but do something with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you're doing something with it.
I'm doing something with it. Intentionally. Yes. Thank you, Riley.
Thank you, Mr. J.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, Mr. J.
Bye, guys. Listen, learn, lead. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on Buns, Burgers, and Big Ideas. We hope today's episode inspired fresh ideas for your leadership journey. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and keep learning with us as we continue to explore leadership in the QSR world. Until next time, take care and lead well.